Now another thing that we're going to need to talk about is the placement of these slide doors for the entrance. So as you can see here, what we've got in this plan is not coordinated or doesn't match what we have in AutoCAD. But we're just going to go with what the elevation shows, and we will try to place 2 slide doors like this one. I've actually already downloaded the door family, and I'm going to be using that. It is a family of a slide door. Now the thing here is that how are we going to place these slide doors on the curtain walls? As you may already know, we're going to need to replace the panels of the curtain walls with the doors. Therefore, if we want to have slide doors on our curtain walls, then we would need to download a curtain wall specific slide door family. So basically it's just going to be a slide door family that's suitable for placing on curtain walls. Not to mention that it might be a little hard to find, and that it's possible that you might not even find a family with such properties. So I'm going to be showing you a method that you can use for in case you get stuck at this point of your process. It's actually pretty simple, and how it goes is that you're going to need to draw a wall where you need to place your door, then place your door on it, and also the dimensions of that wall should be the same exact as your door family, so that when you place the door on it, it'll cover the wall, and it would seem as though you've actually placed your door family on the curtain wall in your project. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the reference plane tool, and remember we're doing that because the plan and the elevation do not match. So I'm going to draw one reference plane here and another one here. So we're going to have 2 of them. Now I'm going to go back to the plan, and here they are. Do you see how they're not aligned? The door lines don't seem to match in the elevation and the plan, and fact is that we even placed it quite differently at the end. But it would be like this if we go according to the elevation. So far we've drawn 2 reference planes, so we would know the range at which our door is going to go. Now I'm going to take the wall tool, and then I'm going to draw a wall from here all the way down here. And as for its thickness, we're going to have it the same as what we have in the elevation. So there we go. Alright, now I'm going to go over here and grab this door family. I'm going to have to look through the types and select the one I've loaded. And I'm going to have to scroll around to find it. We might even realize that we haven't even loaded yet. So we're going to do it again. Let's go to this view, and here's the door. I'm going to load it into the project. Then I'm going to place it over here. So we're going to have to place one on the spot, and the other one goes next to it. But remember that after placing them, you're going to have to readjust the dimensions of the door, as in you would have to go over to Edit Type and readjust the width of the door with the width of the wall. So I'm going to go back into this plan, and I'm going to draw another reference plane here using pick lines. Then I'm going to pick this one to draw the reference plane. And I'm going to go back into the ground floor, and what we can see here right now is actually the width of the door. So I'm going to go back to the elevation and measure the height as well, and it seems like it's 3 meters. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to the plan, then grab the door again, and let's also measure the width of the door, which is 2 meters. So let's go to Edit Type, duplicate this one, and I'm going to name it 2 by 3. Now I'm going to change the width to 2 and the height to 3. Then click OK. Now I'm going to go back in here, select these 2 doors, then change their types to the one that we just made. Now we're going to have to readjust their positions. For example, we're going to have to move this one a little bit higher. Or you could also align them in place if it's possible. Now this one is going to be aligned with this one. And there we go. As you can see, now we've placed 2 slide doors on the wall. Alright, now let's go take a look in the 3D view. We can see here that the elevation of this wall isn't quite right, whereas we wanted it to be the same as the doors. So I'll go over here and set the top constraint to unconnected, and the height to 3. Only thing is the units are in meters, so I'm going to have to set the top constraint to 3 meters. Then put 3 here, and that's it. Now let's go back to the elevation to double check. We've got the doors here, and let me also set the display style to hidden line. Here are the doors, and the curtain wall is in its place, like so. Now what is this line over here? We're going to have to go to the elevation and see why we needed to place this grid. So let's see. Okay, so let's go take a look in the 3D view. And here is our drawing so far. So that was the first door, and as for the curtain wall behind it, we're gonna have to repeat the same process. It's just the same set of doors, only repeated twice. So you can also see here that there was no problem doing so, and it was okay to place a wall before the doors, and it looks like they're on the curtain walls. As for the floor plan, there is no sign that you've placed a wall for the doors, so it's completely fine. So to sum it up, we placed the wall, and then we placed our slide doors onto that. Only we need to make sure that the dimensions of the wall are the exact same as the slide doors. We can also see here in the elevation that the doors are totally on top of the wall. So this way you can place your entrance doors if you need. For example, here we had 2 and we have placed them. Now I can go back to the floor plan and do the same thing for the wall behind it. First, by placing a basic wall, which goes from here all the way to here. There goes the wall. Then I'm going to go to the doors. I'll select these 2, then create similar. And I'm going to place them onto the curtain wall behind them. It's as easy as that. Let's place the second one. And there we go. Now I'll go back to the 3D view. Then set this wall's unconnected height to 3 meters. Okay, now what is this one? That one is located right here. And it just shows that the basic wall we've placed is a bit too wide for this part. So we're gonna have to drag it backwards by the corner, as according to the plan this wall is supposed to be the same size as the doors. So there we go. Here you can see the result, and now you know how you can use a simple door family for your curtain walls. You can also see here that in the 3D view, it does not show that we've placed a basic wall to do that. So remember this technique for whenever you couldn't find a curtain wall specific door family for your projects.